3, 2, 1, 0.
Hello everybody, my name is Myers Corp Cosplay and welcome to Monday Night Nerd. I am so happy you could be here. We have got a lot to talk about. It has been the summer of nerd. We have got San Diego Comic-Con news, we've got D23 news, we've got Deadpool, Wolverine, we've got Borderlands and everything else. And folks, I am just so happy to be here. I hope you're having a great start to your week. It is Monday, but we are already in the thick of things. Usually we start the show off with a little bit of news and then we dive into the main topic. But this week, the main topic is the news. We've got so many things to go over. I'm so glad you all could be here. We're going to kick things off. If you're watching this, if you don't mind, let's hit the subscribe button, hit that like button, hit all those things, comment, all those things. It means a lot to me. It shows me when I go in the analytics that you guys like these things and I should do more of these. So that means a lot if you could do that. Let's talk. Actually, let's not jump into anything yet because we got a sponsor. Always after the news, we have a sponsor, but I don't want to wait to the end. Sponsor, as always, is my beautiful, lovely, amazing wife. She is at a friend's house right now, enjoying some anime, and I hope they're having a great time. I wouldn't seriously be here without her. I wouldn't be doing the fun things that I'd be doing. I would not be all the things that I am. I wouldn't have this. I wouldn't have the podcast. I wouldn't have all you fine feathered friends out there enjoying this. And I thank you for that. And I thank her for that because I truly would not be the man I am without her. So, hun, I love you. Thank you. You will always be my sponsor. Folks, we got a ton to talk about. We've got some of you in the chat. Hi, Tara. Hi, Collaborative Cosplay. Hi, Crystal. Let's jump into the stuff that you guys probably know if you've been on my social media. We have got Fan Expo less than 10 days away. If you're a cosplayer, you are panicking right now. I am kind of panicking. Not really, a little bit. I have got Mr. Judge Dredd right there. I was on the pre-show talking about how Mr. Judge Dredd is 99.5% completed. All the pieces are done. I just need to work on the suit a little bit. So by the end of tomorrow, I should be ready to walk around my neighborhood and make sure that everything fits good, wears good, and nothing's fallen off. And I'm doing this because I'm going to be at the Masters of Cosplay Grand Prix this year. This is the big Fan Expo cosplay masquerade every single year. I've been chosen to be a part of it, and I'm so excited to be back doing this masquerade. When I first started going to Fan Expo in 2009, that was the one thing that I said I needed to go see because I wanted to see all these cool cosplayers. And every year I am always in that big room in the basement seeing all the great cosplayers. And I've actually been a part of it 7 times before. I've done Terrence and Phillip. I've done Deathstroke. I've even done Judge Dredd before. You can go check out the video on my YouTube channel showing you my performance from many moons ago. Luigi and Ghost Rider at Anime North and all these different performances. This is like, my 7th or 8th Fan Expo Masquerade, and I'm super excited to be back. I've got some cool people. One of them is in chat. They will also be a part of it. It'll be Saturday, 6:45 at the main stage of the North Building, downstairs in the basement where it usually is. And I will be bringing Mr. Judge Dredd to the stage. This is my first 3D printed cosplay. This is my first sewing cosplay to a degree. I've done more sewing on this than I've done any other cosplay, which makes me feel really good inside because that means I'm growing my skills as a 3D printer, a foamsmith, and a seamster, whatever the word is. I don't care. I'll call myself a seamstress. Doesn't matter to me. But yeah, I'm super excited. Next week, we're going to go over more Fan Expo stuff. Next week, we're going to do a big Fan Expo preview. We can go over all the stuff that's happening because there is a ton going on. I'm going to go through the schedule this week and sort of see what things I want to do, where I want to go, what I want to meet, who I'm going to say hi to, where I'm going to be, and give you guys all that next week. I'm thankfully going to be staying at the Intercontinental, which means I will not be having to walk far. I'm so happy about that because I put that guy's suit on yesterday and just wore it around the house just to make sure everything fits good. I haven't gained any weight since I got it tucked in and stuff. And within about 3 minutes, I was sweating. So probably going to lose 10 pounds that day walking around in Mr. Judge Dredd. But that's what happens when you're a cosplayer. I know collaborated cosplay probably feels like that. I know Crystal probably feels like that. It just happens. It's part of the game. But yeah, next week we'll go into all the Fan Expo stuff. I don't want to take up too much time today because we got so much news to talk about. Let's jump into the first topic. Borderlands. Oh boy, let's jump into Borderlands the movie. If you've been living under a rock lately, there is a movie out right now called Borderlands, starring Jamie Lee Curtis, Kevin Hart, Cate Blanchett, and Jack Black. Let's go through my thoughts on it first. My history. I am a big Borderlands fan. I have played and own every game that they have released. The only one I don't have is the VR version. I have played Borderlands 1, 2, 3, prequel, and Tiny Tina's DLC and Tiny Tina's Wonderland a ton. I could name you backstories, characters, I could name you everything. I'm a big fan of that franchise. I saw the preview for this. I saw the trailer like everyone else, and it just didn't feel like Borderlands. It is directed by Eli Roth, who, if you're a movie fan, you know he is hit and miss when it comes to certain movies. Some are great, some are bad. This has had some issues. From what has been reported, this was shot 2-3 years ago, I believe, and we now have they put it into a problem with it, and they did reshoots and stuff. Red Moon joining us from 3,000 feet in the air. You're on a plane, and I feel so blessed that you're in a plane, and you got nothing better to do than watch my. There are better things you could be doing on a plane. They've got tons of movies on planes. Why are you watching me? I thank you very much for taking the time out to stop by, though. Eli Roth is a hit and miss director. I am a Jamie Lee Curtis fan, obviously. My name is Michael Myers. I'm a big Halloween fan. Kevin Hart, really great actor. I'm actually just finished his third Audible book, Monsters. Really good book. Cate Blanchett, there's nothing else you could say about that. She's an incredible actress. And Jack Black, Tenacious D, another amazing actor and musician. I have not seen the movie. I did, however, have a chance to see the movie. If you know, Fan Expo posted a post a couple weeks ago asking if they had tickets for the screening in Toronto. If you were interested, put your name in and they'll select. I got chosen to be a part of the screening last Wednesday before the movie came out. I've been a part of a screening before. A friend of mine and I went and saw Aquaman. I won tickets to see Aquaman when it first came out. It was a great experience. I was super excited for this one. And I won. I won the tickets. However, they let me know Tuesday that I had won. The problem was my wife at the time was away, and I go to an office to work, so I could not leave my animals all day and then come home, feed them, and take off all night because I live in Hamilton. So it would have been at least an hour drive there, a couple hours at the theater, hour drive back. I just couldn't do it. And I didn't want at the last minute to message somebody and say, can you come help me out in a pinch and all that? So I had to pass on the screening tickets. I did want to go, though. And then the next couple days, this review started to come out. And so far, I think out of 100%, it's at a 6 on Rotten Tomatoes, which is one of the worst movies that has ever been reviewed. I think the budget with marketing came over as $200 million, I believe, around there. It is made about $8 million. It is so far below what it was projected and what it is supposed to be making. And I'll break down quickly the things that I saw just from the trailer and why myself as a Borderlands fan was not happy with it. And I've seen many movie reviewers talk about this movie from their perspective. Collaborative Cosplay last seen had made $4 million at the box office with a budget of 110. That might be correct. I've seen so many people have a number and then say, well, it's plus X amount for marketing and all that. If it's 4 to 110, that's terrible. It's still bad. But I really want to give you guys my point of view on this because I am a big fan. I've seen so many people talk about this movie and not play the game. So that's a very different point of view. I'm going to talk about it as a hardcore fan. First, let's talk about the characters that are in the trailer and the main characters of the game. Cate Blanchett plays Lilith. Lilith is what's known in the universe as a siren. She has incredible powers. She is a very strong fire and other things later on in the series. She is a very strong female character, and the world is sort of based around her to a point. The problem with the casting for Cate Blanchett is Lilith is a young and sexy, badass female character. Cate Blanchett is not. And that's nothing against casting somebody who's older in a younger role. Just she doesn't look like she's enjoying being that character as much as Lilith does in the series. Secondly, and probably the biggest glowing one, if you're a fan of the series, Roland, who is played by Kevin Hart. This is a character that is a strong military presence, very strong, no real jokes. He's the last one to laugh at any situation, even when it is a funny situation. He is a very stone-faced person, and they pick the guy that is, no offense, the shortest and makes fun of everything. That's not him at all. Claptrap. A lot of people have been saying that Jack Black is annoying as Claptrap. Claptrap is annoying in the game to a point. I feel that he is written very, very differently. And Collaborative Cosplay says they would have had a better actor with The Rock. Yes. I think everyone has used that as an example, and it is so, so true. Picking Kevin Hart is just the wrong choice. Justice Smith in chat says apparently it was shot in 2021 and shelved with a lot of studio interference. Yeah, it was like 2021, 2020 that they finished. Last, Ariana Greenblatt, who plays Tiny Tina. Kind of gets the idea of Tiny Tina. She's crazy. She's a kid. I'm going to spoil Borderlands 2 for you guys. It's been out forever. If you haven't played it, too bad. Roland is a main character in the first game. He's then a secondary character in the second game. At some point, the villain in the second game, Handsome Jack, kills Roland. And this makes Tiny Tina so upset that there is actually a part in the DLC of Borderlands 2 where you play a Dungeons and Dragons style game. This is the DLC that Tiny Tina's Wonderlands was based off of. And in that DLC, she mentions how Roland is the hero of the game. And Lilith, in particular, keeps mentioning to Tiny Tina that, you know, Roland's not here. He can't really be a part, like he shouldn't be a part of this. He's kind of gone. And Tina just ignores her until the end of the game when he saves everybody and Lilith kind of has to smack her out of it. And Tina has one of the most emotional breakdowns in a video game that I've ever seen, where she explains, like, I know he's gone, but this is how I keep him alive to me. And it is heart-wrenching after playing 2 full games and seeing how important this character is to not just Tina, but to everybody. That story is not in this game or in this movie. And I feel like that makes Tina's core different, and that completely changes your outlook on the character, in my opinion. So seeing her be crazy and everything is one thing, and try and sort of have that Harley Quinn style humor, it just doesn't work if I don't have that emotional center of, I know this person cares deeply for individuals in this world. The choreographer has come out recently and said that in an interview, this was supposed to be rated R. From what I've heard from other reviewers, there are many cuts in the movie that seem awkward. There are many times where, you know, you'll get an over the shoulder shot and the person whose back is to the camera is talking, which is an odd way to shoot because usually you want to see the actor's face moving. So there's thoughts that lines were changed and overdubbed to make things a little more PG. That's a problem. And overall, the saving grace of this is if you are a Borderlands fan, I know a lot of us really wanted to see a character like Handsome Jack, who is one of the coolest characters in the franchise, be in the movie. I'm glad he's not, because that gives the next generation people, whatever you want to say, gives them something to work with in the next version of this, because there will be another version of this. This is still a giant franchise. Will this be a continuation of this one? Probably not. They will probably just do another hard reboot and do it 5-6 years down the road and try again, because this is a franchise that I think you could do a movie for. You just need to do it right. And I'm as much of a fan as I am. If this came out in another time of year, I would probably say I would pay the money just to go see it in a theater to say that I did see it. However, because I'm in the middle of all this, I won't be able to see it until after Fan Expo. And I would not be surprised that by the time Fan Expo's over, this movie's already out of cinemas, because it's not making any money now. It's not going to make any money in a couple weeks. So I will have to wait until it comes out digitally to check it out. But that's my thoughts on Borderlands. It's sad to see it fall apart the way it did, but what are you going to do? Let's jump into the next thing. Deadpool Wolverine. Folks, if you've not seen Deadpool and Wolverine, what are you doing? It's Deadpool Wolverine. If you haven't seen it, you've seen most of it online, because within 24 hours, I got spoilered out the yin yang. Was I looking for it? Yes. But that doesn't mean it's not easily accessible now. So we're going to talk a little bit about it. I know the Geeks and Co folks did a whole episode about it this week, so I thought I should maybe talk about my spoiler talk, because I didn't talk about any when I first saw it, because I saw it opening night. Let's talk about the cameos, folks. The cameos were amazing. We got Elektra back. We got Gambit finally. We got Gambit. Yes, that's my Gambit coat. I'll be Gambit on Sunday at Fan Expo. Yeah, we got Gambit. We got Human Torch finally. We got Chris Evans as the Human Torch back from the Fantastic Four universe. And then we got Blade, which boom, I knew about Elektra. I heard rumors of Gambit. I heard nothing about Blade until Wesley Snipes walked out and my head exploded. That was so cool. And the fun part was, it took me about 5 minutes to look at my buddy and go, oh my God, Ryan was in a movie with him. I totally forgot about Blade Trinity. Right, Ryan and him worked together before. I just thought it was a cool cameo. But yeah, we got Blade, we got Pyro, we got Juggernaut, we got the Russian, which is really funny. We got the Russian from The Punisher, and Kevin Nash, who plays the Russian in the 2003 Punisher movie. Someone asked him why he didn't come back, and he's like, because I'd have to learn dialogue and get in shape and all. Like, I'm not doing all that for a background role. So I understand that. The same with Psylocke and a couple other characters from the Fox universe. They were all in it, and they were all recast, which I completely understand, because they didn't really play a big role. The ton of different Wolverines was amazing. The eye patch Wolverine, the black, the brown and yellow was amazing. I freaked at the Apocalypse one with the silver hand and the big hair. I jumped when I saw that, because I'm like, that is a deep cut that not many fans know, unless you're a big comic fan like I am. The Henry Cavill one got me with a snicker. I was very happy with that. Yeah, it was really, really fun seeing all the different things. Justin Smith says Blade Soul Patch was a little weird. Everyone's getting older, Justin. You can't do much about it. Borderlands, is Robin chat? Is Borderlands where Lilith's from? Honestly, never heard of it until a few weeks ago. Yes, that is where Lilith is from. It is a Borderlands character. It's a it's probably one of the main characters from the game. The cameos were so good. The intro with Bye 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 was spot on perfect. I thought that was good. I don't feel like it did a disservice to Logan using his body like that. I'd see some people complain about that. That's so far away. Like, they still kept him dead. Don't worry about it. A lot of people had an opinion of, what's your thought on the plot? It's a lot of people are saying the TVA was an issue. Like, it should have been a little more straightforward. I've said it to one person. I'll say it here, folks. If you are watching Deadpool for the plot, you're watching it wrong. It is like watching a adult rated film. If you're watching it for the plot, folks, you are watching it very, very wrong. Like, it has nothing to do. I did not go in going, I really need to know what's happening with the MCU when this is finished. I went in to see Deadpool beat the daylights out of Wolverine, and I got it multiple times, and I'm so happy with it. I do hope this is it for Hugh Jackman, though. There is some talks about maybe having him come back periodically. I hope this is it. I think you had the sentimental ending with Logan. You had the proper ending with Deadpool. That's it. I feel like anything after this is just going to be not as good. And I just feel like we're wasting time if we do that. So I think that's it. That should be it for the series. The end with the post-credit scene with the tribute to the Fox universe was a beautiful, beautiful touch. I was very happy and almost got a little emotional seeing that, because that is my childhood. I went and saw X-Men in Toronto at the big IMAX screen with my dad when we used to go to the movies all the time. So I kind of got a little bit of I don't go see the movies with my dad anymore. And so it kind of got a little choked up during that, but it was very nice to see that little tribute. So bravo, Ryan, for that little bit of love to a universe that is officially gone. It's now just Disney. So we'll see where they go from here, and we're going to find out in the next little bit. I was going to talk a little bit about the new Batman TV show on Prime. I was hoping to get to an episode or two before the show started. I did not get a chance to. However, I've seen enough clips on it that I'm very excited about it. It obviously has a very strong feeling to the animated series from the 90s, and there's a reason for that, and that is because the show is written by Bruce Timm. And if you don't know who Bruce Timm is, you are not a kid of the 90s. Bruce Timm wrote for the animated series of Batman. He wrote for Tiny Toons. He wrote for He-Man. He wrote for almost all of the DC stuff in the 90s. So you owe Bruce Timm a giant round of applause. I'm so glad to see him back writing in the DC universe. It looks amazing. I think the art style is great. Having Cobblepot be a female in this, I think, is a cool touch, which is very, very funny that I say that, because if you're a fan of, or if you've at least played the Suicide Squad game, there's a big problem going around right now that one of the DLC characters is Mrs. Freeze, and it's just become, I've seen nothing but negative from fans, from critics, of why did they do this? The look of the character is terrible. It's just being panned all over the place. And now this comes out and it's Mrs. Cobblepot and it looks amazing. Everyone seems to be loving it. So there are ways, it appears, to be doing different versions of the character. You just have to do them properly. And it feels like everyone is enjoying this. Also, I really enjoy, Crystal said in chat, some of it did zone out, but the last two episodes really enjoyed. And Harley has a new look too. There are ways of doing this, folks. Like I think a lot of tertiary fans don't understand, like, This stuff changes. Like Superman has had different costumes and different ways of looking. Batman, same. Lantern, same. Like all these characters have different versions, and it's okay to do different versions of them. You just have to do them properly. And I think that's where some people drop the ball, is they're not done with love and intent and care behind them. And it looks like this TV show's doing great. I've seen nothing but stellar reviews for it. So hopefully I will get a chance to check at least an episode or two out this week. But I am very happy with how it turned out. Now we're going to dive into the two big things from the past couple weeks. That is San Diego Comic-Con and D23 this past weekend. Let's start things off with the older of the two, San Diego Comic-Con. We're going to quickly, well, not quickly, but we're going to go through each point and see what we think of each one. Let's start things off with the Doctor Who. We have a new Doctor Who spinoff coming out on the Disney Plus streaming service. I'm interested in this. I'm not a giant Whovian. I do appreciate Doctor Who. I did become into the Fan Expo universe and Comic-Cons and all that when Doctor Who first came back with Eccleston. He was my doctor, I guess you'd call it. And then the Tennant verse and the Smith universe and the Capaldis, that I was a fan. Again, I was not a diehard fan, but I did watch enough episodes to understand the series. I'm interested. I'm interested to see where this goes. I know they have a new doctor on here. I hope it gets more love. I know the fandom's kind of waning over the past couple seasons, which sucks because I think it's a really cool series. But you got to keep doing stuff. And I think they keep pushing forward with new ideas. This new idea is creatures from the ocean are going to take over the surface. I think that's a cool idea. I'm interested to see what they're going to do with this. So I will probably be checking that out at least first couple episodes to see what's going to happen. Next, we got a Transformers 1 trailer. We have Megatron and Optimus. They were friends back in the day, and now they become bitter enemies. Odd choice, but I'm not going to slam it. I think this is sort of a retelling, revamping, or rebooting, whatever you want to call it, of the Transformers franchise, which I'm okay with, especially because we've had the movie universe been pretty much the only thing that's really been pushed for the past 2 decades, let's say. So I'm happy with them taking this world and making it its own and changing up the lore and the nostalgia of it. I really like the animation. I like the clean look. I think I've said on here before, the biggest problem I've had with those Transformers movies is it does to me feel like a scrap metal ball rolling around and shooting at each other. That first movie was so horrible, in my opinion. I couldn't tell who was who I was rooting for, because everybody was gray and black. There wasn't a lot of color, so I could tell who was who. This is a new animation style. This is a new colorful version of it. I'll watch it. I'll probably go see it in theaters because it does look really fun. We're going to jump over to video games because Mortal Kombat 1 has a new DLC pack coming out, and we've got 6 new characters joining the roster of the MK1 universe. We have the classic characters that everyone knows: Ketchup and Mustard, Sector, Cyrax, and Noob Saibot are coming to the new One universe, which I'm interested in. I've not played the new MK1, but I am going to be playing it soon. I really wanted to wait until all the DLC came out, and then I will buy it all at once. That has been a big problem with 9 and X and 11, was I bought them day one, and then having to rebuy things later on. I was like, I can't do it that way. I need to do it all at once because I don't want to buy things later. So we've got those, but then we've also got, joining the universe, your celebrity characters. If you remember, the original DLC for MK1 had Peacemaker, had Omni-Man, and had, who was the third? Peacemaker, Omni-Man, and who was the third? There's a third one. Peacemaker, Omni-Man, and a third that I can't put my finger on. Someone in the chat, tell me who it is. I can't remember. Anyways, the ones that are joining this this round are Ghostface from the Scream franchise, Conan the Barbarian as Arnold Schwarzenegger, and the T-1000 Robert Patrick will be in Terminator, or will be in Mortal Kombat. I am so excited to how they're going to do these, because Ghostface does not seem like somebody who would survive long in the Mortal Kombat universe, but I think they're going to do some really cool things with it. I think they'll do probably something similar to Noob Saibot, where he will vanish and appear. There'll be a lot of transport, sort of like a Nightcrawler look. So I'm interested in that. Conan is just going to be a pure brute in the game, which I'm interested in. And the T-1000, I can just imagine the things he's going to build with his body that will just rip people to shreds. Yeah, and having the voices, I believe they've got voice. Robert Patrick has come back for the voice of the T-1000, and Schwarzenegger will be back for Conan, because I know the voice actor who does Ghostface in the movies is coming back for that one. So this is going to be really cool. Once they all come out, I will definitely be picking that up and playing the hell out of it. I do worry a little bit that they're getting a little too nostalgia baity with this game. There have been no new characters in this world. It has been all characters we're already aware of. It does worry me a little bit. I hope that once we get to MK2 or whatever they're going to call the next one, that we get a little bit of new blood in it and get some new people that I want to try and find some new things I like about them. Rob the Bad Guy says, doesn't help that the OG Transformers were like 12 blocks and the movie versions were like 12 million and couldn't really focus on anything. Yeah, that was the biggest problem with it. I could not stand watching it. It was just, like I said, it was a hunk of metal rolling around. And I just was like, is that Optimus? Is that Starscream? Is that Megatron? I can't tell. So I know they've gotten better since then. In fact, the last one, the Beast Wars one, was probably my favorite because it was a little less like that. But still, I will still be seeing that in theaters. We got a new Penguin trailer for the new Penguin series with from the Batman universe. I think I've gone on record multiple times saying I'm not a fan of villains being the centerpiece of movies or TV shows, because they always try to humanize them and make you feel for them. They sort of change their origin story. Morbius being a key one of this. Craven looks like it's going to be like this, where we're supposed to feel sympathetic for the character. This doesn't, though, and it makes me very interested in seeing this. This looks like it is going to be Penguin being Penguin and being a complete villain in it, which I'm interested to see how they're going to do. I think 8 to 10 episodes of it. It's going to be the daughter of Falcone, Sophia Falcone, versus the Penguin. They're going to have a rivalry to take over Gotham, the underworld. I'm down for this. The look of Penguin looks identical to the Batman. Having no Batman in it is fine with me. I think that is absolutely perfect. It's the same thing I said about the Joker movie. You know, I was interested in it. I was good with it. I thought it was a great time. Joaquin Phoenix did a great job. And then as soon as that ending hit where a couple gets shot in Crime Alley and pearls fall, I got so pissed. I was like, you don't need to remind me. Like, I get it. It's Batman universe. Don't need to mention him every 5 seconds. And if you do, mention him sparingly. Don't show him. Just, wow, someone got hit by a Batman last night. Wow, we got to watch out for him. Done. Don't need to see the tights. Don't need to see the symbol. Don't need to see him beating up criminals. Just do it as Penguin. So the trailer looks really good. I'm super excited. Colin's going to kill it. Colin Farrell looks amazing. When people say that you vanish in some makeup, he vanishes once that makeup's put on. I'm so excited to see that show. We got a new trailer. We got a couple. We got one at San Diego Comic-Con, and we got another one at SDCC for Captain America and Brave New World. I'm excited for this. I gotta say, I know some people probably think I'm a Marvel shill, but I gotta say, like, folks, I remember a day when we had, you know, Daredevil with Ben Affleck. And I like the Ben Affleck Daredevil, but like, we're getting Red Hulk. in this. We're getting the Serpent Society with this. We're getting Sidewinder with Giancarlo Esposito. Like, folks, what more do you want if you're a fan? I think this new version with Falcon being Captain America is good. The mention of Steve Rogers not being around, I'm kind of getting tired of that. That's mentioning old stuff, which we'll talk about that later. I know everyone wants to hear my opinion. But Harrison Ford hulking out, I think it's really cool looking. He needs the mustache, though. I'm sorry. That's one thing I liked about Red Hulk was he had the big, giant Colonel mustache. But he doesn't in this one. But hey, I'm still excited. We're going to get Red Hulk. We're going to get Harrison Ford. We're going to get Giancarlo. Like, this is cool. I'm excited for this. And it looks like it's going to be very espionage like Winter Soldier was, which is what everyone wants. So this is what everyone asked for. Be happy, folks. Like, there was a time when we don't have... Folks, let's stop for a second. There was a time when none of this existed. Marvel movies were not a thing. They just didn't exist. There will come a time when none of the Marvel movies are coming out. There's going to be no more Marvel movies. Enjoy it while you last. Okay? Like, just enjoy it. Doesn't have to be groundbreaking cinema. They exist, but they suck. Yeah, but you know what, Alex? I gotta counter that. There's gonna come a time where we are all going to wish that we had these movies, because it is going to go away sooner or later. Marvel will never be on top forever. No one ever does. And there's gonna be a day when I'm like, man, I wish that there was Marvel. So I'm going to sit back and enjoy it. 90s Captain America was bad. 90s Captain America is hilarious. Side note, thank you for bringing that up, Alex. In the next couple weeks after Fan Expo, I will be doing 90s month. And one of the days will be 90s comic book movies. And 90s Captain America will be one of those movies I'm talking about. So I'm going to sit back and enjoy this movie. I've enjoyed all the Captain America so far. Out of all of the MCU characters, the mainline Avengers, Captain America has always been my favorite as Falcon or as Steve Rogers. So I'm super excited to see how they do this and how this is all going to affect going forward. And if we talk about that, we got to talk about not Ric Flair, not the Four Horsemen, the Fantastic Four. We got our first glimpse of the Fantastic Four again at San Diego and at D23. We got to see, well, the people in attendance, and if you look hard enough online, you will know that there was a slight trailer for Fantastic Four, and by slight trailer, you saw a pane of glass and two giant eyes come down and are staring into what looks like an apartment building, and we are to assume that is Galactus. So we are going to be getting Galactus, hopefully. I'm super excited to finally see what Galactus is going to look like. It is not a giant cloud. And to be fair, and I can't remember who pointed this out. One of the reviewers pointed this out, and I had the exact same thing. Let me jump back for a second. Deadpool, Wolverine, when they look out and see the void, I thought originally that was Galactus from the Fantastic Four universe. I was like, no way they brought that back. No, it's the void from Loki. Damn. I thought that would have been very cool. But anyways, so we saw Galactus. We know that is going to be a very 60s style movie, which is interesting because it did well. That style seemed to work very well in the Wanda and Vision series. So getting a whole movie like this is interesting. I'm a little worried about kind of doing the first family of Marvel again, only because I don't know if the family dynamic is really going to work in 2024. The family of the 60s is not really what it is in today's time. So I don't know. I think movies like Incredibles and stuff have shown that you can do it properly. It's just whether they can hit it exactly. But I'm interested. You know, you've got a great cast. In the D23 trailer, we saw Johnny Storm in the Fantastic Four suit, so we know it is going to be a very simple white and blue, which is kind of looking a little bit more like the Roger Corman unreleased version. The earlier Fantastic Four was with Chris Evans was good, says Alex. Agreed. I don't mind the 90s 2000s versions of the Marvel universe. I think they did a fine job for what they had. But yeah, this is going to be good. I think Fantastic Four is going to do a good job. We do know that this is one of the first times we are going to see Robert Downey Jr. as Doom, which is going to be interesting. I think I talked a little bit about it on my past podcast with the Freakish Workshop. I want to see RDJ do it. I think he's going to do a fine job. I don't think he's going to drop the ball. I think they all understand how important this role is, especially after having to make a left turn because of Kang. So I'm interested to see where they're going to go with this. It's a little bit of morbid curiosity, but I don't think they're going to drop the ball on this one. Going along with that, the Russo brothers have come back and said they will be directing Doom and Secret Wars. So we've got the people who gave us all the best Marvel movies in the past. We have them back at the reins, so I'm giving them all the faith I can to bring the Marvel Universe back into the world. I think there is a little bit of... There's been so much. It's sort of what Star Wars was going through, where it's just so much content. It's hard to keep up, and it also shows flaws if you start to do too much content of anything. This podcast is probably a prime example of that. But yeah, I think it's going to do well. I'm not worried about the Marvel Universe for the next little while. And last but not least, from San Diego Comic-Con, we have James Gunn and the Creature Commandos trailer. Okay, folks, this is not one that I saw on my bingo card 10 years ago, and this is not something I was really interested in until I saw that trailer. That looks like a really fun animated movie. If you don't know what the Creature Commandos are, it's pretty much the Suicide Squad, but crazy creatures. You've got the Bride of Frankenstein, you have Frankenstein, you've got G.I. Robot, who is a World War II robot sent to kill Nazis, and you've got Dr. Phosphorus, who is a glowing radioactive skeleton. It looks really funny. The voice cast is stupendous. That trailer got my interest, so I will be definitely checking out Creature Commandos. I did not have an interest in this, but now, one of the few times where a trailer has pulled me in and said, yep, you've got my attention. I can't wait for it to come out. That is all of the main San Diego Comic-Con, folks. It has been days of a convention, so I know I missed stuff, but those are the key points that I had down that I think were very interesting. Now we're going to quickly go through D23, and then I'll get you guys on the road. D23 was this past weekend in the Disney universe. We have a lot of Marvel stuff and non-Marvel stuff coming up. Let's start off with the Double D. Daredevil is coming back. The Marvel universe is bringing back the Netflix universe and bring it into their universe. We now have the new Daredevil Born Again series. We have been told that Punisher will be coming back as well. John Barenthal will be back as the Punisher. We have a possible team up with the Kingpin, which has happened every now and then in the Marvel universe. They put so much stock into him coming back in Hawkeye. It would be stupid for them not to bring him back in Daredevil. So I am really interested to see this. I need to watch all of the Netflix shows. This is when I kind of got overloaded with content, was, having to follow. At the time, you had Daredevil, you had Punisher, you had Jessica Jones, you had Luke Cage, you had Iron Fist, you had Arrow, you had Flash, you had Supergirl, you had all of these things, and I just did not have the time. I still don't have the time to watch all of those things, but I will definitely have to watch the last season of Daredevil. I know I watched the first two, but I know I have to watch the third season just to make sure I'm ready for the new season coming up. They also announced the villain. I cannot remember the villain's name off the top of my head. He is a very fun villain, though. He uses the blood of his victims as art, which is a really cool concept. I can't wait to see what they do with that. I hope they put an R rating on this. You can't really do that with a PG universe. Alex, Iron Fist is the weakest link. I still enjoyed it, but it was the weakest. That's what everyone says. And I have a buddy who's a giant Iron Fist fan who is very upset by that. No, Iron Fist is kind of like Shang-Chi, where you kind of have to just, it's got a lot of mythology. It's got a lot of, you got to take your mind on a little bit of a ride. And if you don't do it properly, it kind of falls apart, and it looks like that did fall apart. I probably will end up watching it. Iron Fist is one I didn't end up watching. Same with the Luke Cage. I didn't watch those seasons. I did see the Jessica Jones ones, though, so I do know, like, I know the characters from the comics, but I also have seen them in the universe. Another announcement, we have Ironheart coming out as a series. I don't care. I'm sorry. I just don't care. I've said before that, you know, everyone has to remember what this whole Marvel thing was. Originally, this was all comic books. And when you went to a comic book store, you saw the word Marvel on a book. You didn't just automatically grab it. You had your series you liked. You had your Spider-Mans. You had your Captain Americas. You had your Avengers. Not every property that Marvel puts out is for everybody. I have not watched Echo. I will probably not watch Echo. I will not probably watch Ironheart. I did not really like her in Wakanda. I will probably not watch this one unless there's some giant reason, and I will probably see it online within 10 minutes of it being live on Disney Plus. So yeah, I'm not excited for that one, but that's me. If you're into Ironheart, if you're into her as a character, I know she's bigger in the comic books now. Go enjoy it. Have a blast. It's just not made for me. Going out of the Marvel news, we have Toy Story 5 coming out in the next little while. And this is an interesting concept, especially with what we're doing right here. This is going to be toys versus tech, which is a really cool concept. Kids nowadays are spending more times on screens than they are playing with their toys. So the toys in Andy's room, or the former toys of Andy, are going to have to figure out the world where kids want to play with their technology more than toys. So I really liked all the Toy Story movies. I liked 4. I know a lot of people crapped on it because it was kind of an odd duck compared to the originals, but I really did like it. I think it's going to be a really fun time. There's also supposed to be an army of Buzz Lightyear set in toy mode that they have to compete against. So yeah, I'm super excited. Give Tim Allen and Tom Hanks all of the toys, all of the Toy Story. Like, just do everything you can with them. I'm super excited to see all of the Toy Story stuff. Keep making more of it. I'm a kid at heart, and I love it. New Tron movie coming out, Tron Ares. Never big Tron fan. This was back in the 80s when the original Tron came out, and then the new one came out. Didn't really care. 9 Inch Nails are doing the soundtrack, though. All right. You got my money, because I'm a 9 Inch Nails fan. Yeah, that caught my eye. That's going to be interesting. I'm really interested to see what they're going to do with that. I think Trent Reznor is going to kill on that soundtrack. Trent Reznor did a bunch of stuff on the new Halloween movies, which made me just go, okay, this man is going to have a career. He's had career outside of 9 Inch Nails, but he's just blowing it up all over the place. Anything that man touches turns to gold, it seems like. So I'm excited to see what Trent Reznor and the boys bring to the world of Tron. I think that's a very nice pairing. I was very upset that no one in the crowd really reacted, though. They did the laser lights and spelt out the NIN, and it was just kind of silent. I'm like, oh, I'm old. You guys don't know what this means. But yeah, this is going to be really fun. I'll probably see this one in theaters, because they're not going to just, the last one was decades ago, so I doubt they're just going to be like, and the last time, and they're just going to throw us into it. They'll do a recap and explain it. X-Men 97 season 2 is coming out. That'll be coming out, I think, next year. It's written. I think they're animating it all now. It has been revealed that the classic 1997 suits are going in the drawer, and we are now bringing out the Big X Grant Morrison costumes. I love those suits. They are the more sort of leather looking ones with the big yellow X's on all of them. Super excited to see how those look in animated form. They killed it with season 1. I did talk about it in the past that I am a little concerned that they kind of pulled all of their aces. That's a Gambit pun for season 1, and they don't have a ton to work with on season 2, but I've been proven wrong before. Let's see how we do on season 2. Marvel Zombies is coming out. This is something that was teased back in the What If season 1, where we got to see a little bit of Marvel Zombies. This will be coming out as a 4-episode series on Disney Plus. Yeah, I'm interested. I liked the Marvel Zombies books when they first came out. It's definitely, obviously, a different concept than your normal MCU. If this is going to play a factor into the MCU, I don't know. I don't know how it really could without kind of messing up a bunch of stuff. It is going to be animated from what I've read. So 4 episodes, probably an hour long each. I got 4 hours to waste on Marvel Zombies, even if it's crap. 2 more and then we're out of here, folks. We have a new Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man coming out on Disney Plus. This is a very old school art style. It had a lot of different characters from the Spider-Man universe, including different variants on his look. So I don't know if this is going to have any tie-in to Across the Spider-Verse or not, but I'm really liking the old art style. It is very early 90s looking, not the 97 stuff, but more early 90s. If you've seen any of the old Fantastic Four, Spider-Man, even the old X-Men show that only had the pilot, very similar art style. I always love that art style. I'm a child of that art style. But yeah, I'm interested in seeing what they do with that. I think it's also only in about an 8-episode series, so no harm, no foul if it's not that good. And last but not least, not something I thought I'd see in D23, but it was announced and not really talked about that much. We are getting a Monster Jam movie starring The Rock. Yeah, folks, we're getting a Monster Jam monster truck movie. And then as I was reading it, I was like, oh, that's cool. That's cool. And I put my head down and kind of thumped my head off my table going, how have you never seen a monster truck movie? Never. I've seen every concept under the sun, but I've never seen a monster truck movie. I've been to monster truck races. I've been to monster truck shows. I've never seen a monster truck movie. So good on Disney Plus for taking that IP of the Monster Jam license and using it to their advantage. I think it'd be really cool to do a monster truck movie. And if it does well, you could do an animated series where like Gravedigger's his own, like sort of like the Cars universe where Gravedigger's his own sort of character and Bigfoot's his own character and the Mutt Truck isn't like, I think you do so much of that. So I'm so down for that. I think that'll be very good. I think that'll do well across the board. The Rock's in it. It's a family movie and you've got monster trucks. Kids, go have fun for an hour and a half because Dad's going to enjoy this watching monster trucks. So yeah, I'm excited for that one. Folks, that's Gavin knows every single name. I was the same, Crystal. I was the same. Back in the day, I could tell you every monster truck growing up. Yeah, I'm still a Monster Jam fan. They had the Gravedigger truck at my old Toys R Us probably 3 years ago, and I went down and I got a picture with it because I'm like, dude, that's still cool. I'm 36 and it's still cool seeing monster truck. So that's it, folks. We've got the Master of Cosplay Grand Prix. I'm going to be a part of that. We've got Borderlands. I was kind of mad about the trailer. I'm not going to be seeing it probably in theaters. It won't be here by the time I get a chance. Deadpool, Wolverine, the spoilers were amazing. I had a lot of fun. Can't wait to see what they do with Deadpool going forward. San Diego Comic-Con, a whole bunch of news. D23, a whole bunch of news. Folks, that's it. That's it. 55 minutes. Done. We're good. Folks, if you're still here, it would mean a lot. If you could hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, it would mean a lot to me. Please. Please hit the subscribe button. If you guys could hit that, it'd be greatly appreciated. That like button means a lot. If you can comment on it, it means too. That'd be great too. Just it means a lot. Just hey, great show. Tell me what you like. Tell me what you didn't like. Negative, positive. I'm not upset if you guys leave a negative comment. If you say, hey Mike, you know what you should do? You should cut this down to half hour and shut up for a half hour. I get it. I get it. My wife probably says that all the time. Anyways. Thank you all for tuning in. It means a lot to me. Next week, we are 1 week away from Fan Expo. We'll be like 4 days away from Fan Expo by the time Monday comes around. We're going to talk all about Fan Expo, get you guys hyped, ready for it. I will hopefully have Dread completely done by that point, and we will be in the driver's seat ready to go into Fan Expo Canada the next weekend. Folks, it has been a blast. Thank you all for tuning in. It means a lot. I hope you have a great week. I hope to see you next week. I will keep you guys updated on social media about my cosplay stuff. But you all have a great night. Take care. Say hi to your friends and family for me. I love you all. And I'll see you all soon. Good night, folks. Hey, thanks for watching Monday Night Nerd. If you enjoyed this content, please hit the subscribe button, like this content, and follow on social media for even more nerdy fun. See you soon.